Let's say that someone named Carmela, a 45-year-old African-American woman, goes to her local MD for a yearly checkup. Her only complaint is consistent pain in her left knee that shows up after she walks a few blocks. The nurse and the doctor do their things, order some lab work and an MRI of her knee. Now, the doctor could have done an orthopedic exam of the knee and checked it for range of motion and pain in certain stress positions, but this would have taken too much time. There were 25 people in the waiting room that day. He could also have ordered a much less expensive x-ray of the knee, but the hospital he is affiliated with just got a new MRI machine and it needs to be paid for. He also gets a kickback from the hospital for every MRI that he orders. Carmela's insurance will pay for it, so why not? The nurse records Carmela's blood pressure as 142 over 92. The high end of normal is 140 over 90. After all of the tests are back, her MD diagnoses Carmela as suffering from hypertension, high blood pressure, and osteoarthritis of the left knee. He tells her that they are both genetic diseases and that she has them because she's African American. He is dead wrong. There is no such thing as a gene which codes for hypertension or for arthritis in anybody, be they black, white, pink, purple, or yellow. My colleague, mentor, and friend, Dr. Joel Wallach, wrote an entire book on this subject, Black Gene Lies, Slave Quarter Cures. You can find it on my website. By the way, here are the 3 most common causes of high blood pressure. Not enough calcium, not enough magnesium, a peripheral arterial disease of the kidney, obesity. And the only cause of osteoarthritis of the joints are chronic mineral deficiencies, oxidative damage to the joint by free radicals in the food, and chronic sulfur-bearing mineral deficiencies. Because Carmela's MD is an allopathic reductionist, remember MDs are trained in allopathic reductionism, it is not his job nor his inclination to try and cure the arthritis nor the hypertension. As a matter of fact, most MDs have no idea at all what actually causes disease. It was one of the most stunning revelations in my life when I figured this out and realized how very little MDs know about the actual physiology of the body relative to disease. The only responsibility that Carmela's MD had was to keep her from dying while she was in his office. Mistakenly thinking that she had high blood pressure because of a mysterious genetic defect, he decided to manage that condition with a drug that a pharmaceutical salesman had given him samples of. He was also obliged to help Carmela to deal with the knee issue because he had diagnosed it with an MRI. So, Carmela's allopathic reductionistic pharmaceutical centrist MD prescribed hydrochlorothiazide for the blood pressure and knee replacement surgery for the osteoarthritis. Hydrochlorothiazide is a type of blood pressure medication that works by artificially relaxing the blood vessels. A major side effect of this drug is type 2 diabetes. That's right. The person taking it eventually develops type 2 diabetes as a side effect of the drug. Great. But remember, the MD's job was not to help Carmela become healthy. His job was to normalize her blood pressure ASAP. If his treatment just so happened to cause something else a few years later, well, he can just prescribe another drug for the new condition then. The knee replacement surgery was not immediately necessary, but her MD again incorrectly assumed that it was caused by a bad gene and as such could only get worse. Carmela had excellent insurance coverage, and her doctor could use the extra money he would get from the surgical procedure as he had just heard about a real estate investment that he wants to try. So, why not? Trusting in the wisdom of her doctor and not knowing any better, Carmela agrees to start the blood pressure medicine and goes through with the knee replacement surgery. But let's not take our eyes off of the ball. Remember, both of Carmela's conditions were caused by simple and chronic nutrient deficiencies. Her MD completely missed these facts and should have had his license revoked because of his overlooking this. Because Carmela's doctor's medical education and clinical experience had nothing to do bless me, with clinical nutrition He was completely unaware of the relationship between Carmela's nutritional status and these two conditions. So instead of just giving Carmela inexpensive nutrient supplements, which would have fixed the problems, he gave her an expensive prescription medication and a surgical procedure to manage them. Additionally, as these treatments did nothing to address her nutrient status after everything was said and done, she still had multiple nutrient deficiencies. 5 years went by, and then Carmela came down with osteoporosis. Guess what causes osteoporosis? Correct. Nutrient deficiencies, especially calcium. Not knowing nor caring about this, her drug-happy MD then prescribed Boniva for the osteoporosis. Oy vey. You would think that someone specializing in medicine would understand the fundamentally basic concept that thinning of the bones, osteoporosis, is caused by nutrient deficiencies, but no. When I refer to MDs as incompetent, this is why. An oversight like this is on par with an automobile mechanic telling someone that the air conditioning in their Lexus didn't work simply because the car is old, and then recommending that they manage the problem by driving around in the summer with a giant block of ice on the passenger seat. As a cover for this colossal ignorance, every MD in the world will tell every patient in the world that osteoporosis is a genetic disease. When the average Joe on the street hears the term genetic, he automatically feels intellectually inadequate. Instead of challenging the MD about it, he backs down, wrongfully assumes that the MD must know what he's talking about, and takes the MD at his word. Okay. So now Carmela is on hydrochlorothiazide and Boniva. She has one fake knee, still has multiple nutrient deficiencies, especially calcium. 3 years into the Boniva prescription, Carmela's face fell off because her jaw rotted away as a side effect of the Boniva. You've got to be kidding me. She had to have expensive plastic surgery, and an artificial jaw was attached to her skull. The surgery created a lot of pain, which her MD managed with oxycodone prescription. 1 year later, Carmela stumbles when walking to the kitchen because the oxycodone that she can't stop taking now because it's so addictive has made her dizzy. She falls to the floor, fractures her hip. But wait a minute. She was taking Boniva to keep her bones strong, wasn't she? Didn't Sally Field tell me that Boniva would help my osteoporosis? For goodness sakes, it only gets worse. Poor Carmela. Now she's in the hospital again for hip surgery to fix the fracture. The pre-op blood work shows that in addition to everything else, she's now diabetic. Remember, this was caused by the blood pressure medicine that she's been on for 5 years. Remarkably, she makes it through surgery without dying, but now the quality of her life is in the toilet because she's in constant pain from the 3 surgeries, has one fake knee, one fake jaw, one fake hip, is addicted to oxycodone, and now she has to figure out the whole blood sugar, what can I eat, insulin calculation, injection thing. Oh, I almost forgot she still has multiple nutrient deficiencies, especially calcium. A few years later, she's woken up in the middle of the night by excruciating pain in her back. I mean, it's bad, baby, right up there with the pain of childbirth. She dials 911, is taken to the ER in an ambulance. The MD's there, 55% of whom were addicted to opioid prescription meds, ran all kinds of expensive tests and found nothing wrong. This is because the drugs that they had become addicted to had begun to interfere with the processes of logical thought. Then an intern, fresh out of med school, took the time to ask Carmela a few smart questions and correctly guessed that she was passing a kidney stone. An X-ray confirmed it. Not bad for a rookie. Guess what causes kidney stones? My, aren't you a quick study? You are correct. A calcium deficiency. With a definitive diagnosis in hand, the senior MD at the ER, being addicted to oxycodone himself, simply advised Carmela to up her dose of the drug until the stone passed, which took 4 days. Having no experience whatsoever with addictive substances, Carmela had neither an understanding of the dangers of this drug nor of the nastiness of the addictive process in general. After day 4 of the increased dose of the oxycodone, once the kidney stone had passed, she just kept taking it. Because if she didn't, she'd start to feel like crap. Now she was really addicted, but she didn't know it. And you guessed it. She still had multiple nutrient deficiencies, especially calcium. 20 months later, Carmela started losing bladder control in the middle of the night when she was lying down in bed. Like a lemming racing over the cliff, again, she went straight to the MD's office. He gave her a Detrol prescription and tells her that the bladder problem is genetic and is simply the result of aging. He doesn't explain how it can be both. And Carmela is too drugged out on oxycodone to ask the intelligent question. Her MD realizes that her oxycodone dose is higher than normal, but when he sees her chart and her history of 3 surgeries in the last 5 years and her age, now 62, he thinks to himself that she will not be alive for that much longer, so he does nothing about it. In reality, Carmela's recent problem with bladder control was caused by degenerative disc disease in her spine. A nerve coming out of her mid-back that goes down to her bladder was being squished by her body weight every time she laid down at night because the padding that the disc usually gave was no longer there. And guess what causes this? You guessed it, a calcium deficiency. Time goes by. Eventually, Carmela gets another fake knee, another fake hip, and then she died from an overdose of morphine while in the hospital, recovering from her last surgical procedure. The last decade of her life had become little more than a revolving door to the hospital and a nightmare of fear, frustration, drugs, surgery, and pain. Her MDs, however, having extracted all of the money that they possibly could from her, slept quite soundly through it all, having convinced themselves that they had delivered the very best care that money could buy. After all, how could anybody possibly hope to fight a bad gene? If Carmela had come to see me or one of my colleagues, her nutrient deficiencies would have been taken care of in the very first visit. More on this when we return, ladies and gentlemen. I am your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light Systems system today, complete with 2 Black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Let's finish up with Carmela. If Carmela had come to see me or one of my colleagues, her nutrient deficiencies would have been taken care of in the very first visit. Within 4 weeks, her hypertension would have cleared up, and within 6 months, her left knee joint would have rebuilt itself. She never would have developed kidney stones, osteoporosis, degenerative disc disease, and her face certainly would not have fallen off. She would have avoided all of that pain and suffering, and the last 2 decades of her life would have been relatively healthy ones. But because her insurance won't cover the services of a naturopathic physician and the nutritional supplements that she would need to fix it all would have cost her upwards of $200 a month, she decided to go to her MD instead because, besides, the MD sat her down in his expensive office and told her that vitamins were ineffective, dangerous, unproven, and that naturopaths were quacks. He also told her that the whole darn thing was her fault in the first place because she was the one with the bad gene. Carmela's doctor violated her trust either out of ignorance or out of malice. Neither is acceptable. His treatments ruined the quality of her life and made a bad situation worse and worser and worsest. And let's not forget the incredible amount of money that this lifetime of misdirected MD medical care cost. The problem with healthcare in the USA is that it is not healthcare. It is MD-directed, allopathic, reductionistic, pharmaceutical-centrist disease management. When sick and scared, average people do not get to choose between a homeopath, a naturopath, an acupuncturist, or an MD. They get to choose between MD-A, MD-B, MD-C, and this is really no choice at all. This from my book, The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. Lots more in there. This needs to be on every bedside table in the United States. You can get an ebook copy. You can get a soft-bound copy at my website. And shortly, we're going to have the audiobook version of this available for your edification and your reading pleasure. Education is the key here, ladies and gentlemen. Education is the key. We have been existing inside of a medical monopoly for the last 100 years all around the world. There are only a handful of people that know how to pronounce naturopathy, let alone know what it can do. There are only a handful of people that have any experience whatsoever with holistic medicine. That's holistic with a W. Acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine, homeopathy, Ayurvedic treatment, etc., etc. These are the treatments that people need to avail themselves of if they are suffering with a chronic disease. The foundation of which, the first thing that people need to do, if they're up against any illness whatsoever, is to stop eating food that's gumming up the works and to nutrify their bodies every day, to give their bodies every day the 90 essential nutrients that their bodies need in order to function the way that nature and God intended. These nutrients are not present in the food. They're not. Some are, but all of them are not. So it's only a matter of time until the body runs out of something, and then something breaks, and then you go to an MD who doesn't know anything about the relationship between nutrients and disease, and they throw a drug at the situation which doesn't cure it, it manages it. So the first thing to do to get into the game of healing, the real game of healing, the first thing to do to attempt to cure the condition is to stop eating food that's coming up the works. You can get that list for free on my website, glidden.healthcare. You can get that list for free, glidden.healthcare. And also take the 90 essential nutrients that your body needs into your body every day in doses appropriate for your body weight. You can get information about how to do that on my website as well. We work with a number of longevity representatives whom I am glad to forward to people, recommend to people as they are attempting to recover their health with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Slight change in our schedule tonight. The webinar that was previously scheduled for tonight on cholesterol has been moved. We're doing it 1 week from tonight. I am sorry, I'm a little under the weather today, and I just can't manage it. The webinar that we are doing on cholesterol will not be tonight. It will be 1 week from tonight. No webinars scheduled for tonight. Sorry for the last-minute change, but that's life in the fast lane. Ladies and gentlemen, go to my website, glidden.healthcare. Get in touch with the radio station that you are listening to this radio program from and see how you can avail yourself of the wisdom of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Thanks so much for tuning in and turning on. I appreciate your support very much. Perhaps we can go to the phones and talk to Beth, perhaps? Beth, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. There's a little bit of a breakdown here in the studio. I think we're actually on a commercial break right now. Give me a minute to sort this out. Hold on, Beth. Thank you very much. All right, that's better. Now we're back. We're back in the saddle, baby. Let's go to Mary in Oregon. She called yesterday, and then we'll get to Beth. Hello, Mary. Thanks for calling back. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I want to know if you believe that the colon therapist can, like she said, pull the mucus lining out of my small intestines through a cleanse and 3 colonics. Yeah,
probably what she was referring to is the peculiar physiological formation of something called a mucus rope. That's probably what she was referring to. I hope that that's what she was referring to, because you don't want to be pulling the mucus lining off of anything, right? That's just, the mucus lining is there for a reason. But because of consistent consumption of all the wrong food, because of crap in the air, crap in the food, and crap in the water, there is this weird thing that can form inside the digestive tract called a mucus rope. And I've seen people pass them, held them in my hands with rubber gloves on. It's a very real thing. There was a guy in the 60s who wrote a book, Bernard Jensen, called Death Begins in the Colon, I think was the name of it, or Complete Bowel Detoxification or something. But Bernard Jensen, just do a Google search for him. He wrote a remarkable book, complete with pictures of all kinds of crap, pun intended, that people had eliminated from their body after they had done colonics and colon cleansing programs. And the lion's share of the stuff that comes out is this weird mucus rope thing. So that's what she was referring to. Now, sometimes you've got that stuff in your body, sometimes you don't. There's way too many variables to predict here. But I can tell you that in my life, I have had 3 remarkable healings so far, and 2 were with bowel cleansing detoxification programs, both of which involved colonics. I'm a big fan of colonic hydrotherapy. I'm actually due for one. We're going to start another round of colon hydrotherapy here in a couple of weeks. It's the first time I've done it in over 10 years. I am way past due, so I'm excited for it. I think you should get it. I think everybody in the world should have at least 3 colonics once a year. There's nothing but good news there. But I think you're a little confused, or she was a little confused, or didn't communicate properly really what she was talking about. Does that make sense?
Yes. My other question was, is there a longevity cleanse you would recommend instead of the one she wants me to use?
No. There used to be, but they don't sell it anymore. So regretfully, the answer is no, not yet. And, colon hydrotherapists, they do this for a living, right? And so they have a clue about what they can do. And so I would have no harm, and I would have no hesitancy whatsoever in getting on board with her program. I'd like you to call us back after you do it, Mary, and tell us what happened and what your experience was.
I will. I have to wait, of course, till the vacation periods, but I will.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. That's the bummer about doing a cleanse. You just can't do it during normal life because it's not normal life.
But it's definitely needed on my part, and I think she just described it wrong.
I think. So, what are you going to do? We live and we learn and we move forward, right? But so when you do it, give us a shout back with an update on it, and I'll look forward to that, and I'll give you my experience as well. Thanks so much, Mary. I appreciate everything that you do. All right. Let's go back to Florida and talk to Beth. Hey, Beth. Thanks for your patience. Yes. You are live.
Okay, really don't know where to start, but my husband called you about 2 weeks ago and mentioned me at the end, and then it fell apart. And so we are, or I should say I am taking the AEFA, the glucose gel, and let's see, Beyond Osteo, but don't know if should take that or the powdered, because our son talked to us about that. But the problem is, I was drinking coffee. I don't like coffee, but I'd heard that it helped you lose weight, so I was drinking a lot of coffee, and the interstitial cystitis came back. Now, about 15 years ago, I had it extremely, never came on slow. It hit me like a rock, and I know there's material says it doesn't, but it doesn't, or it could. We were on the upper Amazon for 30 years, and it felt like a knife turning around in my bladder. And I was screaming within any of my 4 bursts. And the mission doctor came over, and I had some pyridium, and so we took that. And when we were in the States, we got it under control. And the doctor there, when I came back, he said I thought I had cancer, but I have. Because of I was on Elmeron for about a year, and then somebody like you suggested glyconutrients, and I went on the Manitech, and I was on that for about 2 years and off, and I've had no return until I started this thing about trying to drink extra coffee to help me lose more weight, and it's come back again.
Well, in some, so if I threw gasoline onto a fire, the fire would get worse, right? So right. there are chemicals in coffee which are inflammatory, and in some people they're really inflammatory, and in other people's not so much. So the basic rule of thumb here, right, common sense, if you start something new in your lifestyle, whether it's a new prescription medicine, whether it's a new herbal tea, whether it's a new vitamin or whatever, and shortly after you start that, you get a side effect, a new symptom shows up that's strong and persistent, then 5 will get you 10. It's related to what you started. So you are you blood type O, by the way?
No, I'm A negative. They always wanted my blood all the time. But anyway, that's I spotted it after reading it and stopped it, but and I still having some pain, and so I was able to get the Elmeron again, and that controlled it. It's only been like a week, and I'm trying to wean off of that and use more of the glyconutrients. But what I'm getting to is that the tanny tangerine of yours really is kicking up. I've been trying to take just a little bit, where you had told my husband I should take considerable amount of it. And I have 2 replaced hips and a lot of other things that have happened. After listening to you, I've learned that I'm extremely deficient in calcium because I have calcium cramps in my legs to the place that I would scream, and I finally found some liquid magnesium my daughter told me about. But by taking what we've started, I'm not having trouble with that, but I can't take the quantity of this tangerine.
Why? Because what happens when you do?
Because it causes more bladder pain again.
Okay. So which came first, the coffee or the tangy tangerine?
Well, I'll go back. Our son started this with us several months ago. I had no trouble with the tangerine.
Okay, and then you increased the coffee, and then the bladder pain showed up, right?
Right, but I stopped the coffee as soon as I found out about it.
Yeah, okay. So here's how that works, right? If you step off of the curve incorrectly and you sprain your ankle, right? The stress to the ankle, it took like 3 seconds for that to happen, but your ankle is going to be swollen and painful probably for 3-4 weeks. It's going to take 3-4 weeks for your body to recover from that. So
that's kind of what I figured.
Yeah, so when you flared the bladder up with the coffee, I mean, who knew, right? It's going to take a while for that to calm down, and it's kind of like if you had a paper cut on your finger and you poured lemon juice on it, it would sting like a son of a gun. But if you didn't have a paper cut on your finger and poured lemon juice on it, nothing would happen, right? So the tangy tangerine is causing a trouble in the bladder now because the bladder is a little irritated. And once the bladder calms down and it's no longer irritated, you should be able to take incrementally higher doses of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. How much do you weigh right now?
Okay, that's what I figured, but my son wanted me to call you.
Yeah.
I weigh 165.
All right. So in a perfect world, you'd do 4 scoops of the tangy tangerine a day. 1 scoop. My recommendation to you, if you can handle it, is 1 scoop in 12 ounces of water 4 times a day.
Okay, I can't handle it because I'm trying it. I'm taking about a half a scoop 4 times in a glass of water 4 times a day. And so
all right, that's good. That's good. You can do that now until the end of January. And then up the ante a little bit and see if you can't take a little bit more. How about the calcium? How much calcium are you getting down every day?
Okay, what you just said is what I'd already planned. We're taking, I think, an ounce, 2.5 ounces for my weight, I think is what it is a day.
2.5 ounces. Are you taking any of that before bed?
No.
Okay, so do 2 ounces during the day of the calcium and do 2 ounces at night before bed and see how you do. And when you do it at night before bed or during the day, try mixing it with a little bit of orange juice or pineapple juice or any type of citrus juice. Orange, pineapple, banana is one of my favorites because that helps the body to absorb the calcium better. It's not mandatory, but you can give it a run and see if it helps. But I would... in addition to what you're doing, so I would back off during the day to 2 ounces a day, and I would also add another 2 ounces of the liquid calcium immediately before bed. Try that for 7 days and see if it helps you. I'm pretty sure that it's going to.
Okay, well, I do know what you said about putting it with the acid, but I'll try and see if hopefully it won't kick up and cause more pain. And I'm also extremely forgetful, and we all worry a little bit about the.
Are you taking a cholesterol-lowering statin drug?
No, I don't have cholesterol. Well, I shouldn't say that. They checked mine, and then they said all 3 of them brought it down fine. But lately, they say no, you need to take it because one of them's high, the other one's 2 are extremely low. I said no, I'm not taking any of that. but I do know it runs in the family, and but no, I'm not taking. We have been on and off for trying to find alternative drugs for many years.
Well, okay, so here's the deal with that, Beth, and I'm going to counsel you to watch. I'm producing a webinar that we're gonna have live a week from tonight. 1 week from tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to do a live webinar on cholesterol, the myths of cholesterol. As far as I'm concerned, you do not have high cholesterol. Nobody has high cholesterol. It's a big myth. You don't need to worry about it. For memory, what I would do as an experiment for 4 weeks, eat 3 eggs a day, 2 to 3 eggs a day for 4 weeks. Continue with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. See if your memory doesn't improve. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Basil in New York is up next. Let's go to Basil in New York and see what's cracking. Hello, Basil. Thanks for waiting. You are live.
Thank you for taking my call, Dr. Glidden. Really appreciate it.
Always happy to talk to you, Basil. What's going on, man?
All right. I'm going to cut it real short. I'm legally blind.
Yeah.
My left eye has scar tissue from surgery.
Yeah.
You understand that. The right eye had some scar tissue. I did an additional surgery, and the doctor damaged my cornea.
Yeah.
Now, I'm wondering, if you were in my position, would you do another cornea surgery?
Well, I'd have to take a look at the situation and see, but before I did any surgical procedure whatsoever, if it was not life-threatening, I would make sure that my body was completely nutrified for at least 3 months before I went under the knife. And also, when you're shopping around for surgeons, it's kind of like shopping around for cars. You want to ask the surgeon if he can give you the list of 10 of his patients that he did the surgery on that he wants to do on you, and you want to call him up and see what happened to him and how they felt. It should be required by law that these people have track record that you can search, in the public domain, that he did 500 surgeries and 250 of them were failed, right? I mean, they should keep statistics on these guys the same way they keep statistics on baseball players, but they don't. So you want to shop around and just ask questions, and if the doctor is hesitant to let you talk to his patients that he's done the surgery on, then that would be, I would question him and I would move on to somebody else, right? So why did you have the surgical procedure in the first place? Was it glaucoma?
Diabetic retinopathy.
Okay, diabetic retinopathy. So have you taken any of the nutritional supplements so far?
Believe me, I'm taking everything that you suggest. The only thing I'm not taking is glucogel.
Okay. Not sure that that's really mandatory here. Do you have any type of arthritic thing?
No arthritic.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, here's what I'd like you to do, Basil, if you can. Can you call the show back on Monday?
Of course. I listen to you every day. I can call.
All right, because I'd like to take a long time and get a little bit more of your history here, and I'll spend the first 14 minutes of the program with you on Monday. So make sure you call into the show first thing on Monday. You can walk me through what you've already done, walk me through what they've done to you, what the MDs have done to you, and I'll be able to give you a heads up here. There is a homeopathic eye drop solution called Cineraria maritima. You spell that C like Charlie, I like India, N like Nancy, N like Nancy, E like Echo, R like Roger, E like Echo, R like Roger, IA, Cineraria maritima, just like it sounds, maritima. You can find that online, eye drops, and I would do the Cineraria eye drops. I would do 5 drops in the eye that's problematic now, the cornea. 5 drops 3 times a day for 30 days. 5 drops 3 times a day for 30 days. I would make sure you're taking at least 12 selenium a day. 12 selenium a day.
I'm presently taking about 21 a day.
How much do you weigh?
Approximately 250.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Look, man, I'm really sorry that we're out of time here. I
understand. I'll call you on Monday. Thank you so much, Dr. Glidden.
I look forward to it, Basil. I appreciate you very much. Happy New Year, brother. I appreciate the support. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your steadfast advocate for health, even when I'm a little under the weather. The cholesterol webinar that was originally scheduled for tonight has been moved to 1 week from tonight, so spread the word in Johannesburg. Thanks for tuning in and turning on. Until next time, live long and prosper.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Wondered what rich people know that you don't? Because people who are earning 10 times more than you are not 10 times smarter than you. But they do have a secret. They know something you don't. And that something is what I'd like to share. Because I started out like you, buying dozens of money-making programs, 99% turning out to be nothing but mumbo-jumbo. But eventually, I discovered a secret, earning over $284,000 in a single year. And this is why I have a confession to make. Because most people think my success came from luck or hard work, unfortunately, neither is true. Because I didn't start making more until I started doing less. Less physical work and more mental work. This is because I owe all my success to one thing, and I'd like to share it with you in a new free book. All you have to do to get a copy is go to realcashsecrets.com. That's realcashsecrets.com. Obviously, this offer is limited, so please go now to realcashsecrets.com.
911, what is your emergency? There's somebody in my house. Hurry, please.
A home break-in happens every 22 seconds. Homes without a security system are up to 3 times more vulnerable to a burglary. That's why there's Simply Safe. In an emergency, our advanced wireless technology alerts police up to 10 times faster. And your connection to emergency services can't be cut because Simply Safe doesn't rely on landlines. Simply Safe costs less than half what traditional companies charge. Just $14.99 a month, and there's no commitment to an annual contract. Protect your family with the highest caliber security. Go now to simplysafedefense.com and get 10% off with free shipping and a 3-year warranty. Hurry, and you'll also receive a keychain remote worth $25. Try Simply Safe for a full 60 days. You'll feel confident that your family is safe or your money back. Go to simplysafedefense.com right now. simplysafedefense.com.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th at the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533.
During their pregnancy and healthy start in life. Learn.
Okay, we are. Thank you. Pot that up for me, please.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Hi, my name is Scott Fuchs, teacher and rowing coach for over 14 years. I was sluggish, overweight, on prescription drugs, and only 30-something. Fortunately, I was referred to Dr. Z, and happy to say Dr. Z's all-natural protocols over a consistent course resolved my health issues. I'm in the best shape of my life, and most importantly, on 0 medications.
I'm Dr. Zdanowski, author of Evology, trained as a primary care physician, surgical manipulation under anesthesia, expert in nutrition, diet, weight loss, immune system, and I specialize in chiropractic. My 15 years of professional experience has taught me the 4 keys to vibrant health: a balanced musculoskeletal system, an integrated nervous system, a flowing lymphatic system, and a body filled with over 90 essential nutrients. This has been a secret too long. Actualize your potential, reverse disease. Call me, Dr. Z, 201-945-1177, 201-945-1177, evolyourself.com.